Hello students, let's start part 4 of the chapter Towns, Traders and Craftspersons. This is the fourth part of this chapter and today we'll start the topic a closer look Hampi, Masulipattnam and Surat. First of all about Hampi, the architectural splendor of Hampi. Especially this is belonging to Vijayanagara architecture. Vijayanagara architecture. If we see the architectural feature of Vijayanagara Empire, that was founded in 1336. You have to remember, dear students, Vijayanagara Empire was founded in 1336 with the Sangamas dynasty. In 1336, Harihar first and Bukka. Harihar first and Bukka, this empire was set up. Harihar and Bukka were originally feudatories of Kaktiyas. Vijayanagara architecture, the important temples are Vitthal Swami and Hazara, temples at Hampi, Varadraja and Ekambarnatha temples at Kanchipuram and Parvati temples at Chidambaram. These are the main temples, and the stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata were inscribed on the walls of the temples. It is Vitthal Swami and Hazara Ram temple. They issued gold coins called Varahas and pagodas with the incarnation of Vishnu. This was about Vijayanagara architecture. So let's study further. The magnificent ruins at Hampi reveal a well fortified city. No mortar, the features were no mortar or cementing agent was used in the construction of these walls, and the technique followed was to wedge them together by interlocking. You can see in this figure a view of the watch tower through a broken wall of enclosure of Hampi. This is the interlocking system. Here, this is the stone or brick like this, then this one like this one, and then so these are interlocking systems. So in this way walls were very strong and built with the magnificent features. A fortified city. Here one description is given. This is how a Portuguese traveler Domingo Paes described Hampi in the 16th century. At the entrance of the gate were those pass who come from Goa. This king has made within it a very strong city fortified. Fortified means surrounded by a big and strong wall with walls and towers. These walls are not like those of other cities but are made of very strong masonry such as would be found in few other parts, and inside very beautiful rows of buildings made after their manner with flat roofs. So this is the description given by Domingo Paes. During their rule, Vijayanagara rulers, for example, of Sangamas dynasty, Saluva's dynasty, Tuluva's dynasty, like Veera Narasimha or Krishna Devaraya, right? And Aravidu's dynasty. So these all the rulers took keen interest in building tanks and canals. The Anantraj Sagar tank was built with 1.37 kilometer long earthen dam across the Maldevi river. Across Maldevi river, you have to remember this data. The Anantraj Sagar tank situated on Maldevi river. Krishna Devaraya, about which we have discussed, Krishna Devaraya, who ruled, you have to remember, 1509 to 1570, 1509 to 1529. So this was the 20 years tenure or 20 years duration of rule by Krishna Devaraya. He built a huge stone embankment between two hills to create a massive lake near Vijayanagara, from which water was carried through aqueducts and channels to irrigate fields and gardens. So in this way the irrigation system was developed with the help of canals and supplying channels. in Vijayanagara Empire. The architecture of Hampi was distinctive. In what manners? The buildings in royal complex had splendid arcs, domes, and pillared halls with niches for holding sculptures. So these were the main features of architecture of specially Hampi. They also had well planned orchards and pleasure gardens with sculptural motifs such as lotus and corbels. These things were built in its heyday in the 15th 16th centuries. Hampi bustled with commercial and cultural activities. It means Hampi became very important center for commercial activities, trading activities, and as well as cultural activities. For example, Muslim merchants, Chettiars means Chettis, and agents of European traders such as Portuguese thronged the market of Hampi. It was full of these kinds of activities and with different traders. Here you can see stone chariot Vithala temple Hampi in this figure. Temples were the hub of cultural activities, and Devadasis, who were Devadasis, they were female dancers. In temples, they used to dance and perform before the deity, royalty, and masses in the many pillared halls in the Virupaksha. Virupaksha means a form of Shiva, right? Virupaksha temple. The Mahanavami festival, known today as Navaratri in the south, was one of the most important festivals celebrated at Hampi. So these were the different features of the architecture and what kind of activities were performed in the temples. You have understood. Archaeologists have found the Mahanavami platform where the king received guests and accepted tribute from subordinate chiefs. Subordinate chiefs, they used to help the king in governing the country or in ruling the country or the state. From here, he also watched dance and music performances as well as wrestling bouts. So these kinds of luxurious activities were performed for the kings and the royal people. Hampi fell into ruin following the defeat of Vijayanagara in 1565. In 1565, when the combined sultans of rulers of Golconda, Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Berar, and Bidar, they defeated Vijayanagara Empire, and in Battle of Talikota in 1565, you have to note down 1565, the Battle of Talikota. Battle of Talikota, right? In this battle, it was between alliance of Ahmednagar, Bijapur, Golconda, Bidar, Berar on one side and Sadasiv on the other side. So Sadasiva was defeated, right? So you can understand about Hampi. So dear student, this was about Hampi. Now we'll discuss about gateway to the west, Surat. Surat is known as gateway to the west. Why it was also called Emporium. What is Emporium? Is a place where goods from diverse production centers are bought and sold. Means from different areas the goods are carried and they are bought and sold by the traders. So that place is known as Emporium. So Surat was known as Emporium of Western trade during the Mughal period along with Cambay. Cambay means at this time it is known as Khambat in Gujarat, and somewhat later Ahmedabad. Surat was the gateway for trade with West Asia via Gulf of Hormuz. Surat had also been called the gate to Mecca because many pilgrim ships set sail from here. Because of the location of Surat, right? It connected India to the Western Asia via Gulf of Hormuz, and different kinds of traders from different areas used to come here and for trade. The city was cosmopolitan and people of all castes, creeds lived there. Different kinds of people used to live there in Surat in the 17th century. if we talk about 17th century 1600 to 1700, the Portuguese, Dutch and English had their factories and warehouses at Surat. It means Surat became the center of the major European power. Dear students, you have to remember, major European powers set up their factories. Factories were not like industries. Understand? Factories were the main centers of the traders from Europe, like Portuguese, Dutch and English. Later, French also came. According to the English chronicler Ovington, who wrote an account of the port in 1689, he wrote, on average, 100 ships of different countries could be found anchored at the port at any given time. Means any time if you see in Surat at port, so on average 100 ships of different countries found, right, anchored at the port at any given time. So there were also several retail and wholesale shops. What were there? Retail and wholesale shops selling cotton textiles, because it was also the major center of cotton textile. The textiles of Surat were famous for their gold lace borders, that is called jari, gold lace border, and had a market in West Asia, Africa and Europe. So you also have to remember that textiles of Surat famous in West Asia, Africa and Europe with gold lace border, that is called jari. The state built numerous rest houses to take care of the needs of people from all over the world who came to the city. From the traders from the far areas, these kinds of settlements were there and arrangements were there. So there were magnificent buildings and innumerable pleasure parks. The Kathiawar Seths or Mahajans, money changers, had huge banking houses at Surat. It is noteworthy that the Surat Hundis were honored in the far off markets of Cairo in Egypt. Cairo, situated in Egypt, Basra in Iraq, and Antwerp in Belgium. Here also the Hundis from Gujarat were very famous and were honored. Clear? Hundi means it is a note, a recording, not recording a deposit made by a person. The amount deposited can be claimed in the another place by presenting the record of the deposit. Clear? Like check. Understand? You can take the example of check. So this kind of thing was there, not recording a deposit, that was known as hundi, and these kinds of hundis from Surat could be used or could be honored in Egypt, Iraq and Belgium. However, Surat began to decline towards the end of the 17th century. Why? Because of the control over the trade was changed, right? So controlling powers were changed. Now the control was in hands of the British, and British set up their new centers in Bombay, that at that time Bombay and Calcutta. Understand? Bombay and Calcutta. So in this way Surat, Machilipatnam and old trading centers declined along with Surat. So this was because of many factors: the loss of markets and productivity, because of the decline of Mughal Empire, the one cause was there. Control of the sea routes by the Portuguese and competition from Bombay, present day Mumbai, where the English East India Company shifted its headquarters in 1668. So you have to also remember that East India Company, it means Britishers, set up their headquarter in Bombay in 1668, and today Surat is a bustling commercial center, no doubt. But this was the story of Surat. I hope that you understood about Surat and Hampi. In the next video, we'll study about Machilipatnam and other rest of the topics of this chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.